Let's see. Let's go to Nvidia. We had earnings last night on Nvidia, and surprise, surprise, we're not up. It's not a surprise to me because I saw this already playing out. We had 3 down, 3 up. I would expect that we were getting 5 down, and that seems to be the case at this point. I'm looking for lower still into the green box, potentially at least the 50% at 214, potentially down to 61.8 at 209, 210. Then that would set us up for the next move higher. You'll notice that it is kind of a similar setup to Micron, different degree, different start to it. But essentially, Micron and Nvidia are pulling back in 3 waves. The question is, do we get 5 waves off of this? And does it start the next rally there? For Nvidia, we are already in the larger one too. So Micron is here. If we want to compare it, this would be Micron's area where it is playing through right now. Nvidia is already ahead of that. It's on the next lower degree with wave 1, and we're seeing the wave 2 of that lower degree play out now. So there's a better chance that Nvidia does still have upside. It's a question of where from. But I think it's just a little bit lower here in the near term, where we need to play out this ABC. The B was, decent. It made it to the 50% retrace, so that means we would be playing into the middle to the lower half of this yellow support level here, right about here, probably somewhere in this range is where I'm looking. So that's essentially what Nvidia is at. It's really not that complicated. It's actually fairly clean. We have a 1-2, 1-2 setup. So if you want something to go long on, Nvidia is not a bad one to do. Now, it just doesn't have the same kind of returns that we might see with like Bloom or Micron. I think Micron will have a better overall percent return. But again, I might take better confidence of a setup like this over percent returns because it reduces the risk, right? We always have to consider where our risk is and how much risk we're taking on. Nvidia has less than Micron in this setup and ultimately sets us up to go to 305. That's not a bad return from 219, not a bad return from 210 if that's where it winds up. What is that? 50%, right? If I'm doing my math right. Another $100 on $200. Yeah, so 50% gain. That's not bad. I would not sneeze at that. If my portfolio finished the year at 50% gain, I'm not going to complain about that. So that's a good one there. I think Nvidia looks pretty decent. It's orderly. It didn't sell off. I mean, it is the C wave, but it's at a lower degree. So yeah, it did have the sell off here that's proportional. So that's good. That keeps us in the frame that this is still on this degree and that this should resolve soon. It looks like it still needs a little bit lower. I'm looking maybe 214 before it resolves. And then I would be looking for 5 up, just like the other ones. 5 up tells us that the next rally has started and we're good to go. So not too confusing there at Nvidia. Pretty straightforward, actually.